Hello guys. In this part we will be discussing some of these ancient techniques that people were able to that allowed the people to manipulate or hack into this fabric of reality. And there were people who were able to do this. And we're gonna slowly start sharing information regarding these techniques that were lost throughout history. And it's going to be very difficult to explain everything in just one audio session, so please stay tuned, and I will start giving you little pieces of information here and there. And you'll notice that a lot of this information is very rare and very difficult to obtain, yet it is available for everyone. Like myself, many of you are going through a period in history, in your personal history and in the history of your civilization, where you are waking up to the ideas that were common in the past, ideas that allowed you to really operate in a level of happiness and fulfillment, where you were true to your being, what you were born to become, what you were designed to do. And in that way, you will be able to live your dreams. Every single one of us, we're all capable of doing this. And this is not something special that only some of you, only a few percentage of the population are born with this gift. This is something that is common, that is available in every one of you, in every heart that was ever born. It's just that the information that we're about to share little by little were hidden, were lost, were forgotten. And now it is time for you to truly gain access to your resources of your heart, of your mind, of your subconscious mind. And a lot of the techniques that we'll share will be mental techniques, physical techniques, and also will be regarding some of these substances, chemical substances, natural substances that were very kept secret so that normal people would not gain access to. And right now there are so many people like me who are willing to share this knowledge to achieve a state of being where everybody is experiencing heaven on this planet. And just imagine how wonderful would that be. How wonderful would be that state where you're able to manifest all your dreams and your desires to the best of your ability, to the highest good of all concern, where everybody is in perfect harmony with their destiny, with their lives, and the events that occur in their lives. And all the events that occur in your lives could be designed and evoked and manifested with the power of the Creator, the creative energy that you have in your heart, the creative energy that is willing to vibrate at its best of its potential, to express to the best of your ability, to use all the energy to the most positive way possible that you never ever dreamed of achieving. Yet you will realize that this is more than possible at this time in your history, where there are resources like this open with this so-called technology that you call yourselves the internet. Now it is time that we open to the possibility that the internet, the physical internet, the network of connected physical calculators, devices, technological processing units of information, the devices that you call your civilization called the computer. It is time that we open our minds to the possibility that there is an internet of the mind, an internet of the soul, an internet of your heart, of your emotions. And we will slowly start tapping into the unlimited potential of this new form of internet, of this new form of concept that will allow us to freely share all the information available to whomever, to whoever at any point in time, for as much as we like, to any degree, to which allows you to achieve everything that you ever will want, or ever wanted. So at this point, let's look at the 4 levels of learning. Perhaps you might have noticed that throughout the history, there have been many people discussing self-development. How to get rich. The mindset you need to become rich. How to control your inner talk, how to control your negativity and to balance it with your positivity and create something that has not been created into existence. And by doing that, providing value, service to people in order for you to make money, physical abundance and all that. And each year, notice how there are not thousands of tens of thousands of new different programs out there that allows people to dream and feel good about themselves. And whenever they read these books and they purchase these programs, they feel this wonderful energy in their hearts and inspires them. And all this is available on the internet, in your bookstores, in your local educational organizations. But then just notice how a lot of these programs are all temporary in nature. Just imagine the amount of people who were inspired to purchase and really listen to the programs that I'm describing at this moment, self-help books or programs. Now, how many of you see that they have not really achieved their dreams? At one point or another, they have learned to conform to reality. They have learned to conform to their particular circumstances that are outside of your soul, outside of your body, the outside circumstances. A person who reads a great book, for example, a book called The Secret, or a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World, and they discover that they all have the capability to live their dreams, their wildest dreams, in the most abundant way possible. But that excitement fades away, doesn't it? Perhaps in about a week or two, they are less motivated, less inspired than they were at the beginning stages when they encounter themselves meeting with this particular source of information. And at that point, something else happens. And it's crazy how they just magically just go back to their routines. And in about a year or so, they find themselves at the exact same situation, going through maybe some other program that could look magical at that time again. And they're just a victim of this consumer culture where you're discarding valuable information without even allowing them to really sink inside your subconscious mind and really sink inside your deep unconscious mind, where all these principles and all these ideas and all these experiences that are distilled within the words that were filtered through history ever since your ancient times, the wisdom of time and eternity is all wasted because of this mindset that people are so conditioned in a way that they only look at things as products, discardable products, disposable things. People are just used to getting something new and discarding what is old in a matter of days, weeks. Just think about how many things you bought that you have never used them, that you never had the chance to, you never allowed yourself to give the chance to really explore to the deepest of your potential and use all the tools and techniques and the devices that you have acquired over the years. Were you able to make the best out of every product or encounter or relationship that you've ever met? How many of you are able to understand that you have not? And you're inherently, if you're born in this time of your history, you're some way, somehow, whether you realize it or not, perhaps you might be able to notice at this point that you are conditioned to think like this. And this is not particularly your fault. But there's a way in which we can reverse this. Reverse the process of this ineffective mental software where you're wasting all your potential, and really find the opportunities that are all around you that you are not seeing, that you are missing, the visual, the audio, and the kinesthetic, the emotional opportunities and the energy that are all accessible at this moment in time, all throughout your direction, 360 degrees, multidimensional ways of doing things that perhaps just because you haven't noticed, you know that you think that, you imagine that they do not exist, but they have been present all along, ever since the time you were born, throughout an eternity of time. And just please at this moment, just acknowledge that there is a being, there is a universal presence, and I don't really care what you call this presence, that designed life, that designed this planet. Now, if you look at a masterpiece that is produced from an artist, Van Gogh, for example, and you look at this painting, isn't it insane to say that the design of this painting was all a coincidence? Or a masterpiece such as Mona Lisa, was the painting itself created by chance, by random strokes of another random man, without any conception or design or concept of planning? It is insane to say that Mona Lisa is just a product of pure coincidence, coincidental strokes of patterns of random colors that are derived from a combination of chemical substances that create the illusion of color. Isn't it insane to say that these creations are all random? Then how is it possible that people think that this wonderful masterpiece of art that we call life, planet Earth, and the design of the DNA, and the design of how you think, the infinite potential of your psyche, of your mental spatial dimension that you call the imagination? How is it possible that some people believe that all your body, your soul, your thoughts, your engine, this mental engine that works in an infinite way called imagination, were all designed by chance? Isn't it difficult to believe that these were created by a being, an existence with some sort of a purpose, with some sort of meaning? Isn't it easy to notice this? Just look at all creation that man made: computers, love, friendship, relationships, technology, science, philosophy. You will soon understand that there are no limits to the amount of creation and the quality of creation that we can make. And at that point, you will soon also realize that the limits in terms of how much we can dream is non-existent. You cannot imagine something that you cannot create. Anything that you are able to imagine can be created. If you're able to observe carefully, all of your history is based on making your imagination exist in a three-dimensional form. Today, what we call science, were all dreams and illusions of dreams and science fiction of the past. Anything that you call magic, anything that you used to call magic 200, 300 years ago has turned to be true today, into reality. Anything that you call magic today, whether if it's witchcraft, ceremonial magic, manifestation, the law of attraction, anything mental that you're able to imagine, even the things that you cannot imagine because you're able to perceive by imagination that you cannot imagine them, are already existent in a distant time that is not now. And just because you have not experienced doesn't mean it does not exist. So just dream and use your imagination and develop your imagination as an infinite space of infinite time with infinite possibilities, so that you can start tapping into your potential of manifesting infinite realities in this three-dimensional physical reality, and enjoy this with the highest possible amount of ecstatic pure joy that you can ever dream to imagine. Anything that you are able to imagine, any positivity, any emotional ecstatic orgasmic experience that you perhaps were not even able to perceive that they exist, already exist in a distant time in the future, that is accessible to you if you just decide to open your mind to the possibility that this is not the best reality that you can experience now. So start dreaming, start thinking about the things that you have not thought until now. What are some of the things that you have not experienced that are better than this? What are some of the ideas that you have not explored, that you have never explored, that are much better than the ideas that you had until now? What are some of the events that you would love to experience that you never even had a chance to dream because they're so good? And allow yourself to really start imagining. Make the pictures very vivid. Imagine it visually. Imagine it auditorily. And imagine kinesthetically with your feelings. And you'll see. And you'll open the door to your truest, godly, omnipotent possibilities. Now, with this in mind, let's explore how our mind absorbs and expresses actions and brings results into the physical dimensional reality. Because if you're talking about money, money is something physical, isn't it? And you shouldn't really try hard to understand these concepts, because what you can do is just relax and enjoy the music and the feelings and the emotions that is being invoked and provoked and evoked into your brain and your heart and your soul. And this is the right timing for you to get acquainted with a new you by examining the 4 levels of learning, so that you can get the most out of these audios, get the full experience of what it would be like to really manifest the type of confident, fast, courageous, brave, bold, strong, physically and mentally, a perfect version of you that will be available sooner than you expect, just by following along with these audios and this mental softwares that is being copied and pasted into your mind and your soul and your hearts, so that you could express these feelings and these ideas freely with your body, with the machine that you are in control, with the mask that you wear, to experience this third-dimensional physical reality in this dimensional space in a physical way. So the first level of learning is when you get acquainted to any information, okay? Information such as this, or information that you read through a book, information that you listen through an audio. Is the first level is when you recognize that there is a problem recognition. And this is the stage where you start wondering, why is this experience so difficult? Let's say you want to learn a new language, all right? And then you say, well, you just moved to China and you decide to learn Chinese because you see how difficult it is for you to really experience the life in China, because you're not able to do anything there. You're not able to socialize. So you decide to study the Chinese language. And this is the stage where we call, what I choose to call, problem recognition. And this is perhaps a painful experience where you see there's something that you want, but you're not able to obtain it at this moment. And this is natural, okay? There's no reason for you to perceive this experience as a failing experience, because the recognition of a problem is the beginning of true potential and development. So the second stage of learning is where I'd like to call the stage in which you know what you have to do. So you start reading books, you start hiring teachers perhaps, or you start buying programs, or you start meeting with the people who know the answer. And you seek for inspiration and strength and motivation. And you still know that your Chinese still sucks. It doesn't matter, because you know what you gotta do. So you look for solutions, and you're aware that the solutions exist because you're aware to have the courage to really seek for answers, even in the darkest of times. And it doesn't matter how long does it take for you to really master this new challenge that is in front of you, for you to make the most out of your life. So you buy the books. And then the third stage of learning is where I decide to call this a conscious proficiency level, where you know that you have improved, and now you're seeing the results of the fruits of your efforts. And this is where a lot of people, after a fierce battle with challenge, and they read books, and they study, and they listen to audios, and they listen to videos, and they really listen with their eyes, and listen with their ears, and listen with their bodies. They absorb all this information, and they put the dedication. Now they see that you have changed. Now that's the moment where you're consciously aware that you have upgraded yourself, that you have changed, that you have achieved some of the results that you were just only dreaming to achieve about 2 months ago. And then you see your level of communication has just improved dramatically, and you feel this inner confidence that stems from within because you had the courage, an inner courage, and you were able to listen to the voices inside your heart. And at that moment you've decided to take action, and then you know you took the right action. And then that's when you feel this inner confidence that does not require any source of outside validation, because you know that confidence, it's something that you can purchase with money. Nobody can take it away from you, and you know that you have become confident on your own, dependent only on your inner resources. And then you'll discover that you've just reached the fourth stage of learning, where this proficiency, or Chinese language proficiency at this stage, has just become a matter of course. And you are not aware that you have a problem anymore, because Chinese at this point, you will notice that this particular problem, whether it was Chinese or anything else in your life, any skill or any new perspective that you need to acquire to change your life, you will notice that has just become a part of subconscious mind, where Chinese is no more your second language, but it is just another first language, a mother tongue that you have now. It has become a part of you, where when you're communicating with the person in front of you who comes from a different culture, with a different rationality, and with a different skin color, you do not need to care about or spend any CPU mental processing energy in grammar or problematic problems or limitations that you had. You don't need to try to remember that particular vocabulary, and now you can just freely express yourself at peace, and only spend a little bit of energy because it's a matter of course, because you know it is impossible for you to not speak Chinese. It is impossible for you to have that problem, because that problem now is gone, because your subconscious mind is so powerful that anything that your subconscious mind is able to do with such ease and determination, with an unflinching confidence that you are not even aware that you are doing it. Because you are great like that, and because you have this subconscious energy within you, this existence that we call the subconscious mind is present in anybody. When you are breathing, do you have to remember all the time to breathe? Was there a time that your body allowed you to not breathe because you forgot to breathe? Isn't it a fact that you'll be dead by now if that happened? Your body and your soul and your mind has all the mechanisms necessary for you to continue on, living on. You don't need to consciously worry about your blood pressure or the pattern of your breath. You don't need to consciously worry about the things that you do unconsciously. When you're riding a bicycle, you don't need to calculate all the angles of the directions that you're trying to maintain with your arms. Your body just allows you. It's a gift of your body that allows you to operate in a deep level of competence with such ease and perfection that you're not even aware that is happening, because this little software that you have just decided to install yourself over the 4 levels of learning has just become a part of your subconscious mind. And sometimes even deeper, it goes into your unconscious mind, where you see that you're expressing your life in that way. And when you wake up in the morning, there is no difficulty at that point. It is impossible for you to even recognize that as a difficult experience. And slowly, as you listen to these audios, you will learn to tap into that subconscious power, that level of competence and peace and serenity, where everything that you want at any time will manifest in whatever way you desire, in the most perfect way, without the strain and the stress and the pain that you used to experience in the past. Thank you. God bless you all. And listen and re-listen to this message if you think this is helpful for your soul, for your physical body, for your emotions, and to achieve financial and spiritual abundance in this version of your life, in this dimensional reality. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.